Welcome everyone to your weekly pick a card reading from Monday the 28th of November to Sunday the 4th of December, or for whenever you come across this reading, as the messages are timeless. I want to thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that these messages will help you in the week ahead. Let's get started. Okay everyone, we have pole number 1, pole number 2, pole number 3 and pole number 4. For pole number 1 we have the pink agate. For pole number 2 we have the yellow banded agate. For pole number 3 we have the rose or the pink lace agate. And for pole number 4 we have the moss agate. So again, as usual everyone, please select a pile that you feel drawn to, that you feel called to, either by the different cards, the crystals, the number of the piles. Timestamps will be below. If you feel drawn to more than one pile, please feel free to go ahead and select as many piles as you feel drawn to. I'm sure there will be a message in each of those for you. Welcome pile number 1. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you this week. We have the only illusion is separation. It's an interesting card to start on. We have do not fear the unknown. We have Lizard Spirit with dream the world into being. That's very nice. We have the 7 of Pentacles, the 3 of Pentacles, and we have the 10 of Cups. Oh wow, pole number 1. This is really beautiful. This is really beautiful, and I feel drawn to say, obviously if you're listening to this, you've selected this pile, but I really feel that a lot of us find ourselves in this position. This card here, do not fear the unknown, I think for this particular point in time, I feel it's really, really important, because I think we are facing so many changes, so many things have been changing, and I was going to say don't be afraid, but I don't like saying that, because I feel that when we're told not to be afraid, it makes us feel like we just shouldn't feel the fear, or we shouldn't be afraid. But it's normal. The unknown is scary. When a lot of things change around us, it is scary because we don't know the outcome. So I try to make sure that I say, you will be afraid, but try to move past that. Try to understand where the fear is coming from. And I feel that that's why I've started with this card, kind of, is to have a better understanding of the chakra oracle. And this card is chakra balance, which means that it's all the chakras that you want to be aligned. This is not focusing on any one in particular. And it says the only illusion is separation. Now there is a great sense in your reading, pole number 1. It says dream the world into being. There's do not fear the unknown. There's a 7 of Pentacles, which is in this reading, I'm really seeing it as in, you know what? Is where you are right now, is what you're doing right now, does it serve you? Is it what really ignites your passion? Is it what you want to share with others? Because it's in bringing the two in alignment that we'll get to the 10 of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. And I feel that here in this reading in particular, and I do talk about this quite a lot, pole number 1, is our co-creation with spirit, how we co-create with spirit. And I feel that it's that connection that this card is talking about for you, pole number 1. I feel that it's, so I'm getting the message that if we feel separation or separate from the all that is, and I call the all that is God, the universe, spirit, source, then we won't feel the connection that we have with others, like other human beings, other animals, other, people of this world, if you like. So there's a sense here of reconnecting with something bigger than us. And when I say reconnecting, I'm not, sorry, my spirit wants me to be very careful the way I word this, because we're never disconnected. We just forget that there is a connection. So spirit's saying he never disconnects, or he, that's just giving just give a way of explaining the all that is. So please allow me to say he if that's okay. He never disconnects from us. He never separates himself from us. We do that. We disconnect. And in disconnecting from that, the universe, from the all that is, we automatically disconnect ourselves from those around us. Now, when I mean disconnect from those around us, I don't mean that we become recluse or we're not social. Pole number 1, you might be very social. You might have a huge group of friends, a big family. But this connection is soul connection. This connection is much deeper. It's that connection that reminds us that we all have our trials, and they don't look the same, and they don't feel the same. So even if, say, you're going through a divorce and your friend is going through a divorce, both of you might be handling it very, very differently, but technically you're both going through the same situation, if you like. But we have our own perspective, and we have our own way of seeing things, and we have our own journey, so we take everything on board differently. When we are connected, it doesn't matter. There's no competition, there's no comparison. There's a real, I want to say there's a real understanding. And I feel that that's what this card is saying, that the only illusion that you need to worry about is the one of separation. Thank you. That's such a good way of saying it. Thank you. So the pole number 1, the only illusion that you need to fear is the being disconnected, the separation from all. Okay, and that's the illusion. Now, the reason why I think the wording on this card is so beautiful for this reading is because you've got lizard spirit, and it says dream the world into being. Now, I'm always surprised how many people find it so difficult to dream. And I think it's because there's this thing about illusion. There's a sense of not living in reality, and if we don't live in reality, we're living in a delusion, isn't it? Like an illusion. And I think Spirit's really trying to call you to your attention, pole number one, is if you cannot dream, if you can't envision a life for yourself or a life that you would like for yourself, there is no way that it can come into being. At the moment, I'm not an astrologer at all, but I know that Jupiter's moving again in Aries. Before, I think he's going to go back into retrograde through Pisces, and then I think he finishes up in Aries again by March or something like that. But please don't quote me on that. I'm not an astrologer. But you know, Jupiter is the planet of expansion. And I feel that that's what this card is saying. It's saying pole number one, dream, but how big can you dream? And do you realize, do you comprehend, do you acknowledge that you probably cannot even dream big enough for yourself? I feel there's a sense of really expanding, really seeing, what do I want? And I've been saying this for a little while in my reading, pole number one, been saying a little while, you know your values, know what goals you want to achieve, dream, and visualize, because that's what moves us forward. And that's not only, we will always move forward regardless, but that's what moves us forward in a direction that ignites our fire, ignites our passion, ignites the potential that we have. And when we're aligned with that, the drive, the enthusiasm, the energy comes kind of naturally. It's not to say we're always going to be full of energy and just fly through things. No, there'll be times where we're tired and we still have to manage our time. But there is a greater sense of wanting to do this. It's not, it doesn't weigh us down, if you like, pole number one. And then you have, do not fear the unknown. Now I was just drawn to the 7 because this is quite spiritual. This is quite, upper realms, if you like. And this is this is the non-tangible kind of sphere where we are imagining, we're envisaging. Oh, sorry, sometimes I just get so tongue-tied. We're dreaming. And connecting to the all that is, that again, that's our beliefs, and I'm not talking religion here, I'm just talking our beliefs and what we think is the reality of the unknown, if you like. And there's a sense here the 7 is a very spiritual number, and this card really says, do not fear the unknown. So I feel with your dreams, pole number one, you're either scared to dream them because they're sending you off, you feel like they're sending you off in a completely new direction, or maybe they're going to change a lot in your life. Maybe if you start looking at where your heart's calling you, maybe you think, oh, I don't want all that change. Maybe there's a lot to learn. Maybe there's a whole new way of life that you will need to embrace. But I feel with this card here, it's twofold. It's telling you, it's asking you not to fear the unknown, to work through your fears of the unknown. And I believe it's also guiding you, pole number one, to know there will be unknowns. You are going into the unknown. And there's this sense of embracing it, because you've got the Seven of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles for me is always looking at the card and saying, okay, I've worked diligently. Now, is that still what I want to do? Is this still where I want to be? Has it yielded all that it can yield? And I'm not talking about just money here, though Pentacles is your resources, is the tangible things in the world. But I'm also looking at, is this how you want to spend your time? You might be climbing the career ladder, and you've gotten maybe in the middle or near the top or wherever, and you're sort of stopping to say, oh, is this still what I want? And I think Spirit's saying, please, please, if you're not doing this, please do put yourself in this place of, is this still what I want? You need to ask yourself those questions. And I like how you go to the Three of Pentacles. Now, this can feel like a step backwards. You've got 7 and then you're going back to a 3. But this is doing your craft. Sharing your gifts. I always see the Three of Pentacles because, it's almost like the craftsman with the architect and the client, and they're talking and he's sharing his knowledge, his gift. And he's up higher than the others. And that's not to say that he thinks he's better than the others. It just means that his opinion is valued to me. It means that you are achieving a higher aspect of yourself. This is like a soul calling. This is your natural gifts and talents. This is work that you came here to do. And I feel for most of you, it will be different to your Seven of Pentacles. Some of you might look at this Seven of Pentacles and there's just a tweak that needs to happen. But I feel the majority of you, especially with this unknown and this dream the world into being, I believe that most of you are going to be moving away from this and heading off into a direction that's more aligned. And I like as well with the Three of Pentacles, I like that this is, to me, it's a depiction of a church, which it's, again, I'm not talking religion, but I feel like this is kind of like guiding you to your, being spiritually aligned. And when I mean spiritually aligned, I mean with your soul, what you came here to do. Because you finish with the Ten of Cups, and pole number 1, this is fulfillment on all levels. This is fulfillment for whatever that means to you. The card says, a happy marriage, happily ever after, emotional contentment, a loving relationship with your children, raising children wisely and successfully, people you can trust. And that's just some of it. I always find, the cards are also like, apply this to your life. You might not be family oriented at all, so it's got nothing to do with family. It might be getting the job of your dreams. It might be moving into the house of your dreams, to the location of your dreams, finding people that match how you see the world, how you feel. So apply this to you, pole number 1, but this is fulfillment, in like total fulfillment. I want to say I love it with the rainbow here, because it's almost like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That's not to say that it's money for all of you, but it's like finding that pot of gold. What's in that pot of gold? What's in that pot for you? What do you want more than anything? And I think this card as well brings you back to the lizard spirit. Can you dream something up? Do you even know what your wish fulfillment would be? And don't worry about the illusion. The only illusion that you need to worry about is being separate from spirit, separate from others, separate from your knowing, even your soul calling. But there's a real sense here, pole number one. It's time to dream. It's time to step into the unknown, and it's really time to look at your day-to-day life and see, is this what I want for myself? And search for the answers. Take your time and search for the answers, my friends, because they will come. This is a time, you have no swords here or anything that show often clarity, but this is a time where you're going to be breaking through illusions and really coming to an understanding of what you want, where you want to go, what this Ten of Cups means to you. Oh, such a beautiful reading, pole number one. I'm going to leave you with those messages, my friends. I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful week. Thank you again for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pole number two. Welcome to your weekly reading. Let's have a look what messages Spirit has for you. We have meditation, to see more clearly, close your eyes. I like that card. We have let the emotions flow. We have turtle spirit with slow and steady wins the race. We have the Page of Cups. We have the Four of Swords. And we have the Dreamer, which is the Fool in traditional tarot. I love this reading, pole number two. But I feel that it might not be exactly what you're wanting to hear, my friends. Let me reassure you, first up, this is beautiful. And the reason why I say you might not want to hear this is because there's going to be a real slowing down. So first message straight up is Spirit's going to slow you down, get you centered so you can take a big leap. And I feel for you, pole number two, it's a big leap. So we start off with the card meditation, and it says to see more clearly, close your eyes. And this is the crown chakra, so connecting you straight to Spirit. And I feel this connection is going to be paramount for you this week and leading ahead. As we get closer and closer to 2023, I feel things are revving up. There's likely to be more change. There's going to be big steps. And for you, pole number two, this is a moment of getting centered, understanding yourself. There's a sense of searching for clarity. And when I say searching, I just mean giving it space so it can come to you. Now, for those of you that meditate, please continue with your practice. It'll be so important. For those of you that have been wanting to meditate, now would be a great time to start. And for those of you that have tried and it's just, you just feel it's not for you, please don't think you have to do something just one certain way. There's a lot of ways we can meditate. There's a lot of ways we can just sit quietly. I often do a lot of meditating with a lead pencil in my hand, and I journal, and my meditation comes through just writing, and then I can read back what I've written, and it's quite amazing sometimes. I really, I've been doing it now for almost 2 years, and I shouldn't be, but I'm still surprised with what clarity comes from that. When I reread it, it's like, I never saw that. So whichever way, take a walk in nature, any way that you can move past the hamster wheel mind. And if that means writing everything down to get some clarity, do that. If you don't, I want to say, pole number 2, you don't want to shut your mind completely, because you want the information that it's bringing you, because you want to see where that's coming from. So I'm going to jump directly to this messenger oracle, and it says, let the emotions flow. And this is the clarity. This is, you know, you've got the Four of Swords, which is a time of healing, a time of rest, a time of meditation, you know, a time of going within. It's that getting quiet, being peaceful. And being the swords, it brings clarity, it brings insight. And it brings it through the mind. You know, by either calming the mind or the clarity that comes with clear thought. And I feel there's going to be a balancing here, like let your emotions flow, pole number 2. I like how she has her eyes closed, but her third chakra, I'm not sure if you can see that, is open. That's being guided by her intuition. And I love how the water, just like a water flow flowing from her eyes and her mouth. And I just feel that this could be tears, you know, this could be emotions coming out. But I also see it for your reading as this real cleansing process. You know, I'm drawn to add pole number 2. When you step into the shower or you have a bath, watch the water go down the drain. Watch it. If you're in the bath, just sit as you're draining the bathtub and watch the water go in the shower. Watch the water go down the drain. And imagine that everything that no longer serves you is going down with it. And you are being cleansed. And imagine the water's not only running over you, but imagine it running through you, cleansing every aspect, taking away what you no longer need. It's a good way of watching the past pass through you and down the drain, letting things go. It's a good way to let things go. And I just got, let the past flow. Let the past flow. Let it flow past you, gone. There's a real sense of letting it be. And I feel that's why Turtle Spirit's here for you, pole number 2. It says slow and steady wins the race. Now this is not a race against time, against others, against yourself. Not at all. What I feel this means in yours is, I'm just trying to find another word for race. I just got cleansing. So like slow and steady wins the cleanse. I don't know how that well fits, but it's almost like everything racing through you, it just needs to be cleansed out of you. The thoughts that race around in your head, the motions that race around in your body and you keep a lid on them, it's almost like slow and steadily you're going to move through them. A bit like a turtle, you know, if you see a turtle on land, they are so cumbersome. They look clumsy, they look heavy, they move, you know, it's really labor intensive when they move through the sand. But when you see them in water, they just glide. It looks effortless. And there's a real grace to them as well. And I feel that's what it is. You're going to move through your emotions. You're going to move through the past that you've been still holding on to. Slow and steady. There's no rush. You're just going to work your way through it. And before you know it, you've left it all. It's gone. You've moved on from it all. And I really get this sense of this moving on from it all, because the Fool's here, and the Fool has a very little bag. In the traditional tarot, he's got like a knapsack, like a little hamper thing on the end of his stick, and you know, it's traveling light, and that traveling light doesn't mean baggy, like suitcases and clothes and things like that, you know, belongings, though it could for some of you, but it means the baggage of the past, everything that ties you down and holds you back. The lighter you can travel, the greater you can leap. If you're weighed down by all your past and all the emotions and the trauma that comes with our journeys, sometimes if we don't deal with those and let them go, they weigh on us. How can you take a leap when you're so heavily weighed down? And I feel that's this reading, pole number 2, in a nutshell, is just spirits trying to lighten you so you can take that leap of faith. You can go on that new journey, because there is a new journey. So you have the Page of Cups and the Four of Swords, and I love these two cards together in this reading for you, pole number 2. I love it, because the Page of Cups for me is the page that has accepted the Ace of Cups. So you've accepted the gift from the universe. Now there's a surprise. You know, you don't expect a fish to come out of a cup. So there's an element of surprise here. Now there is some waves in the background, and that can signify emotions. Your cups is your emotions. You know, it's about love as well, but it's how our emotions guide us, and it's also, the cups is also how we are fulfilled in our life. So you've accepted the cup of fulfillment. So, you know, spirit brings us gifts, and the aces are a gift to you, but then you have to do something with it. If not, it never manifests in the 3D world. So you've accepted the cup, and this is the new beginning stage. This is trying to figure out, okay, so I've got this opportunity, so now what do I do? Or I've got this idea, now what do I do? So at the very, very beginning. And I'm going to go as far to say, pole number 2, this is a new beginning on a soul journey. And so Spirit's saying to you, the next step is the Four of Swords. Meditate on it. Sleep on it. Don't rush into anything. Because pole number 2, I'm going to go so far as to say to you, don't rush into anything, because all you're going to do is run around and you actually won't move forward. This is all internal work for the time being. This is getting yourself, if I can say, get yourself sorted out on a very emotional, spiritual level, and then there'll be that moment where you can move. But this Fool card won't come into play until you're kind of in a certain place. And I don't mean physically, I mean emotionally. And this could even be, I just got the word mindset. This could even be, you know, looking at, what do I believe now? What do I see for myself? There's a mindset that may need to change in order for you to take this leap. But I feel pole number 2, there's this sense of shedding your old skin so that you can take that jump into the future. But you cannot take this jump with your old skin, with your old habits. And you'll feel that. You will feel that. You may suddenly find yourself just, wanting to hibernate. You're just going to want to maybe, pull away from people. Maybe even isolate yourself a little bit, find more alone time. Allow that to happen if you can, as much as you can. I know that it's not always easy, but I feel this I just got the honor yourself, honor how you're feeling, honor your emotions, honor your quiet time, and honor this new thing that has brought about this change in you. Don't look at it like, oh, that dread, that maybe even annoyance, like, oh, everything was fine till this came along. This is beautiful. But it does require you to change. It does require you to step up. And I think just that feeling of that shedding your skin and then letting it all go. Because sometimes we know we have to shed our skin, and sometimes we shed our skin, but then we sit next to it. We don't actually leave it, or we try to, bundle it all up and carry it with us. And I laugh because we all do that. We really do. We change, yet everything that we've changed, we kind of want to still keep it with us and carry it through. And this is what it means to, to let it go. Sometimes it's not the change that's difficult, it's the letting go of the old that is. And that can be even ourselves, letting go of our old selves. And you finish the reading, pole number 2, on the dreamer, which is the Fool, and it says, a new start, trust yourself, push your fears aside and take a leap of faith. You're being guided all the way. And I feel that I just get this feeling of when you get to this, it's going to be easy. And I don't say that lightly, pole number 2. It's that when you've done all of this is the difficult bit. It could be tiresome. It could be painful. This is the bit that is difficult, but when you are aligned, when you have clarity, when you've let go of the past, the leap of faith will come naturally, I want to say. I just get this really strong feeling, pole number 2, you're not even going to think about it. I just get the feeling that you're going to be just so aligned, you're going to see so clearly that I think that the majority of you are not even going to see the leap that you took until you've taken it, and then you look back and go, oh wow, wow, that was huge. But there's almost this sense of you're slow, you're steady, you're really taking the time. Both these cards signify meditating, slowing down, sleeping. This can also be, look at your dreams, this can be sleeping and dreaming. The card says the dreamer as well. So you might actually be doing a lot of healing in your dreams. Allow that to come through. And then I just feel like you're just going to kind of be on this roll, and before you know it, you've jumped, you've taken that leap of faith. And I really feel that you're going to be so glad that you did. It really leads to something on a whole new level for you, pole number 2. Slow and steady. Go within. Take time. That's going to be so important this week for you. I'm going to leave you with those messages, pole number 2. Love and light, my friends. Thank you so much again for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Have a good week. Bye-bye. Welcome, pole number 3. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you this week. We have safety. In the hurricane of life, a strong foundation will keep you safe. We have challenge your perspective, your perception, challenge your perception. We have rabbit spirit, now is a lucky time. We have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Emperor. And we have the Knight of Cups. Wow, pole number 3. Really drawn to these yellows, oranges and reds. They're your lower chakras. That's really where your power is. How you are grounded in this physical world. And I really want to say there's something manifesting in your world right now. There's this Ace of Pentacles, and the Pentacles is, reality. It can be money, it can be resources, people that you need to move forward. Anything in the tangible world that is a gift to help you, move forward or change or grow or fulfill a dream or desire. This is powerful energy, really. I feel like the Emperor sitting here, and then you have this angel. And look at the colors and the sword. Not sure if you can see that. There's a really calm sense with this angel, but also so powerful. So powerful. So we start your reading, pole number 3, with safety. In the hurricane of life, a strong foundation will keep you safe. And it's the root chakra. Now, I get the feeling that I don't feel a hurricane is coming for you. I feel you're at that point of building your foundation. The Ace of Pentacles is here. It's generally a gift from the universe that generally starts us on a new path or sets us moving in a new direction. So it's the first of the minor arcana, so it generally depicts a new journey. And I feel that's what this is. Understanding what you want, understanding who you are. What are you driven to do? Where would you like to see yourself? What will it take to get you there? What foundation do you need in order to get there? Now, I believe when this card generally comes out, I often get the feeling that it's almost Spirit saying, what do you need? So pole number 3, what do you need to feel safe and secure on this journey? What do you need? Do you need the right people? Do you need the right environment? Do you need the right job? Do you need more money? Do you need support and encouragement? Do you need teachers, a mentor, guidance? Yeah, there's so many things. So they won't apply to all of you. Pick something, have a look at your journey and what do you need to feel safe on it. That's the foundation that you need to build. So if you need guidance, if you need to learn You know what you want to do, but you just don't have the knowledge yet. A strong foundation would be to find teachers, to find a course, a way of studying, something along those lines. What will build you a strong foundation? Because you have the Rabbit Spirit, pole number 3, and Rabbit Spirit says now is a lucky time. Ask for what you need. Start researching. Because rabbits in the tarot, they're always, whenever they show up on a tarot card, they depict abundance. Whatever abundance means to you. You know, if you need additional knowledge, abundance of courses is going to be beautiful. You can really find one that suits you exactly. So look at what you need. You know, start talking to people. Somebody might just say, oh, I know this great college, or I know whatever. But it's a lucky time. So Spirit's saying, work on this now. Look at what you need. Ask for it. Start talking about it. Start visualizing it. What steps can you visualize? Not the steps to take you all the way on your journey, but at least to get you started. Where can you start? This is a lucky time. This is a lucky time to get yourself going, to bring in what you need. And then you have, oh sorry, I think I said change. This says challenge your perception. And I love that this card is a 5, and I'm not sure if that's going to show up very well on the camera, but it's number 5, and it says challenge your perception. And I'm wondering if some of you might actually be surprised. I love how these cards, the colors match, so I really find them linked. You know, do you think you need one thing when in actual fact you need something completely different? I always find that this card is almost like my think outside the box. You know, we don't often challenge ourselves in that kind of way, where we say, okay, I believe this. Why do I believe this? Do I want to believe this? Whose original belief was it? Because sometimes there are so many things that we keep as our own that were not even ours to begin with. And when we really challenge them, when we really look at them and go, okay, I'm going to see, where do you come from? What do you mean to me? Half the time we carry so many preconceived notions that are not even ours and that don't serve us in the slightest. And I think Spirit is really asking you to almost see this like stepping up, stepping out, and really looking at yourself. Look at the light in this. Focusing. She carries the sword, so straight away to me, you know, that's clarity. That's understanding. I feel there's going to be so many things that you understand, pole number 3, or that you'll come to realize, that's really going to, I want to say, change not only the way you think, but the way you do things. And I think it's all to get you to step into your power. These 2 cards are so powerful. so powerful, and they understand their power. They stand, well, she's standing, he's sitting, but you know, they stand in their power. They stand on their own 2 feet. You know, the Emperor will acknowledge that he doesn't know everything. He will make sure that he surrounds himself with people that do know. He understands all aspects of himself. He takes responsibility for himself. He's not a victim. He never blames anybody for anything. He knows that somewhere along the line there's either a lesson in it or he had a part to play. Well, sorry, Spirit's just telling me we always have a part to play. You know, we've always played our part if we're in the situation. So this is really, you know, when we step into our power, we stand on our own 2 feet and we acknowledge who we are and what we are, which is neither above nor below anybody else. That's when we find safety. We know that we can always manage, if you like. We have all been tested in the past. We've all had situations that we have lived through that were difficult, really difficult. And yet here we are today. Maybe a little bit broken, maybe a little bit down, but we're not defeated. And it's those moments when you think of your life like that and say, wow, look at me. I have had life experiences and I'm still able to thrive. Wow. It's that sense that's going to give you safety, and it's looking at your foundation. It's looking at what you need, not being afraid to ask, not being afraid to go out and seek what you need. Challenging those mindsets, the habits. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? Do you even know? Or is it literally just a habit? Oh, well, I've always done it like this. And are you that same person that started this habit? I'm going to go so far, my friends, to say probably not. Almost definitely not. But Spirit's bringing you something, and I was actually just going to say has brought you something. So for some of you, you already know what this is. This is a new potential, a new opportunity, a new possibility. Are you going to take it? Now, I think the majority with the Knight of Cups here, I really feel the majority of you are going to take it because you see it as fulfilling you in some way. Now, for those of you that are still umming and ahhing, it's this, and it's this. It's finding that foundation that makes you feel safe and secure to move forward. Find what that is. It's the first card in your reading. Start there. You will need to change your perspective. You will need to challenge your perceptions. But it's a lucky time to do that. I feel for those of you that this has already presented, I feel you really want to take it. And I feel as much as you want to take it, there's just as much fear attached to it. Spirit's saying you are safe. Do you know how to run forth with this pentacle? No, not yet, my friends, not yet. There's still work to be done to get to that space. And then we finish the reading with the Knight of Cups, and the card says, romantic, flirtatious, introspective, fickle, falling in love, being swept off your feet, a sudden love affair, a lack of balance in a relationship, situations or topics that make your heart flutter, a love of art and poetry. now that that's not how I'm seeing this Knight of Cups in your reading at all for your pole number 3. I'm seeing this Knight of Cups as in the minute you embrace this Emperor energy, you're just going to grab the pentacle. You're going to grab this opportunity that fulfills you. You know, the cups are fulfillment. It's a journey that leads you to fulfillment. It leads you to the 10 of Cups. You're just going to take that cup and you are going to run with it, because you are just going to be, oh my goodness, I almost missed this. I almost didn't see the potential in it. I almost didn't see that I could. I almost settled for something less. I almost didn't believe in myself enough. These are all your perceptions, and they're going to change, pole number 3, because Spirit's guiding you forward. And I really get the feeling in most of the readings this week, we're really being asked to step up. We're really being asked to challenge our thoughts, to challenge our beliefs, because there is going to be a push forward. You know, and as we get closer and closer to the end of the year, I really feel that we really are being called to look at, who are you now? You know, the last few months have changed us. We're still changing. And is what you wanted 3, 6, 9, 12 months ago the same as what you want now? Look at what potential, what possibilities you have out there. Because you might have several, but there's one with your name on it. But you need to embrace the energy of the Emperor in order to accept it. If not, it's too scary. You won't feel that you are capable of achieving it. You don't feel that that you'll be able to bring it to fruition. But look at this Emperor. You can and you will. And when you realize that, my goodness me, you are gonna, that's all I get with the Knight of Cups, is just a thank you very much, and you're going for it. you're gonna say thank you, and you're gonna run with it. And you are going to, I almost feel giddy with this feeling that you almost let it go. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I almost didn't see the potential in that. I can't believe that I nearly said no. And you're off on this new journey. And the Rabbit Spirit's here. It's a good one, my friends. It's a good one. Not to say there won't be challenges. There always isn't there, pole number 3, but I really feel this is going to be fruitful. I really feel both on an emotional level, because the Cup's here, and also both like tangibly in resources and abundance in some way for you. Oh, good reading, pole number 3. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful week. Love and light, my friends. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pole number 4. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you today. So we have forgiveness. You'll find freedom in forgiveness. Oh, that's beautiful. We have be patient. We have our Spirit, you see clearly now. We have the 10 of Wands. We have the Knight of Cups. And we have the Chariot. Beautiful. This is lovely energy, pole number, and I know you're probably looking at this and looking at forgiveness and looking at patience and thinking, oh, Christelle, we don't want this. But let me show you, pole number 4, you do want this. This is beautiful. Look at the Knight of Cups walking towards the Chariot, and the Chariot's off. It's taking flight. the horses or the unicorns, sorry, in this one are aligned. They're going forth, they're in alignment. It's beautiful. This forgiveness, I feel, for the majority of you, is for yourself. I feel that this reading, there's only one person or one animal or one, there's not a group of people or a group of animals, and I feel this is just, there is the two horses here, but they're just showing different aspects of the self, so it's still you. And I feel this is all about you, pole number 4. And almost having to, so this is just a message from Spirit direct, but this is you almost having to step back from the world for a moment, step back from life, step back from those around you, and kind of go, you know what? I need to make this about me. I need to not look at the part that he played, she played, they played. I need to look at the part that I played. I need to look at me. Because the forgiveness is for you. So it's forgiveness. You'll find freedom in forgiveness, and you are going to find freedom for you, pole number 4, in your forgiveness of yourself. And this is the heart chakra. And of course it is, because we forgive from our heart space. This is not easy. Sometimes, it starts with even seeing out the part that we played, like clearly. Being truthful to ourselves enough where we see our fault in the matter. And rather than feel the guilt, the shame, or getting angry, trying to blame others, this forgiveness card is asking you to just see it for the truth that it is. But it's not there for you to beat yourself up about it. It's there for you to see it, acknowledge it, bless it, let it go, so you can forgive yourself. This is the basis of your whole reading, pole number 4, your whole reading. Without this forgiveness of self, the rest doesn't matter. The rest, I'm going to say the rest can't come about. It stops here. It starts here. Spirit's saying you can't take something into the future with you, and this is a burden. And the freedom you will feel when you drop this, and that's in the forgiveness. When you forgive yourself, pole number 4, you will drop the burden, and you will feel so light. Look at these different energies. This is a broken back, bent over with worry and the weight. Look, nice straight back, on horseback. There's no strain here. This is offering from the heart. This is, and I love how he sits so straight, because when we sit up so straight, we open our rib cage, don't we? And that opens our heart chakra. There's no burden weighing him down. I'm even looking at the wings coming out of his helmet, and they're up in the air, aren't they? There's nothing being burdened here. You have our spirit. You see clearly now. And this, I don't even need to almost say anything further with this card. This forgiveness that you are bringing yourself, this freedom, it's going to change everything for you, pole number 4. And I mean everything. You are going to see others differently. You are going to see yourself differently. And I feel with the Chariot here, you're going to see yourself for what you are. We are all light and darkness. We are all, we all have the good and the bad. We all have the bits about us that we keep hidden because we don't like them. We think they're unworthy. We think that they make us look bad, less than. They embarrass us. We're ashamed of them. But our spirit here, and I love the way he's looking directly at us, he has no shame. He understands that he's made up of all of it. If he wasn't, he wouldn't know any aspect of himself, because it's by I'm going to say the bad things we do that we know what a good thing is. When we know what fear is, so we can know what courage is. We know happiness, so we can know sadness. But without the contrast, we don't know the emotion. It's almost like it just is nothing if you can't compare it. If you've never felt cold water, how do you know what hot is? There's nothing to compare it. And our spirit's saying there's just this clarity, bang. And he's crowned and he's holding his head up high. And it's not to say that suddenly you're going to see yourself better than others. Suddenly you're just going to see yourself, pole number 4. And I love to say you're going to see the perfection in all your imperfections, because you are perfect just the way you are. And you will see that, but it's going to start here with the forgiveness. And then I love how the cards, Spirit has a way of just showing us the way, guiding us and helping us, because this is not easy. So he's saying here, patience, my friends. Just be patient. It'll all unfold. And I almost feel like this dragon's changing colour. His wings are up in the air, but I feel like at one point, he was probably all curled over with his wings covering him. A sense of embarrassment, shame, wanting to hide. And now he's lifting up and he's starting to look out, because he's not afraid anymore. This is when we shine our light. Look at ways, my friends, look at ways, pole number 4, that you don't feel worthy. Look at ways that that you have held on to an old situation, where you might be blaming others, but in actual fact, you're actually blaming yourself. And there needs to be forgiveness in that. Try to find a way to access that forgiveness in you for yourself, but be patient with yourself while you do it, because it's not an easy thing to do. And it's not just as simple as saying, oh, I forgive myself. No, I'm all good now, I forgive myself. It has to come from the heart. It has to be real. We can trick others, but we can't trick ourselves. Our soul knows, our heart knows, spirit knows. And I really feel that the Ten of Wands and the Knight of Cups here is really to depict the difference. Like I said earlier, of being weighed down by the past, and all the emotions that can come with it when we can't forgive ourselves. And this can also be forgiving others, but I really feel this is more forgiving yourself. You'll find also, pole number 4, that in forgiving yourself, you'll find it easier to forgive others. It will just naturally flow. And I feel that's the hard. This is where you need to be patient. Pole number 4. It's in this energy of the Ten of Cups, Ten of Wands, sorry. It's, you know, his back's broken, he's tired, he's had enough, he can't see where he's going. I know this is being burdened in a big way, but the Ten of Wands, it's a 10. So it's like not much further and he can drop his bundle. And when you drop the bundle, like, this can be lessons. For you, pole number 4, that's how I see it. I see it as clarity being yours. You're being uplifted on an emotional and kind of soul, like heart level, mind, you know, the inner you. But there's a gift that comes from this. There's reward. Actually, it's not a gift. There's reward, because there's been work involved. So sometimes the Ten of Wands, I see it like, you know, going to harvest. He's got to take his harvest to the village in order to get paid. This is hard. He's had to harvest. Now he's carrying it. For you, I feel on a much more spiritual level, inner work, your inner work. But when you get there, there's still going to be reward. And that's on a soul level. That's on an emotional level. There's going to be this sense of relief, a sense of, oh, I've got something to offer. I can hold my head up high. I can dream. I can head out and achieve my life. I don't have to cower away. The King of Cups in your reading, pole number 4, and I don't know if I've ever seen him like this actually in a reading. For me, in this reading, is your self-worth. There's your self-worth. You are going to see things clearly. You're going to accept what you need to accept. You're going to let go of what you need to let go of, and you're going to embrace yourself on all levels. And then we come to the Chariot, and the card says, rewards that comes from hard work, successfully balancing many priorities at once, determination and willpower, public recognition. Now, to me, the Chariot is the major arcana coming in to assist us. And this is the universe guiding you to align. Because if these two horses decided to do their own thing, the Chariot would split apart. There'd be chaos. One would win 1 minute, the other would win another, so you'd be forever zigzagging backwards and forwards. Spirit wants to guide you. Go for it. Align. And you can't come to a place of alignment, pole number 4, if your heart's telling you you're magnificent, your mind's telling you you're garbage. There's always this tug of war. Sometimes your heart will win, sometimes your head will win, but that leads you on a real zigzaggy pathway. There's not this sense of calm progression. It's kind of chaotic, and there's always one aspect of yourself fighting the other aspect of yourself, which doesn't do any good to anybody. You know, that wears us down. And there is a sense of being patient here. Take your time. It's not easy to align. And it's easy to fall out of alignment. This is something we always have to be vigilant of. You know, we need to pay attention. And when our thoughts start dragging us down this road, in your reading of, you can't do it, you don't know what you're doing, what are you, you know, that kind of thing. Or look what you did in the past. You made a mess of that. You're just going to make a mess of this. Do you know that self-talk that we all have? And we need to stay aware. That's why we call it an awakening. Because suddenly it's like we wake up. It's like we're almost sleepwalking through life, and suddenly we wake up and we realize how we talk to ourselves. We realize how we trip ourselves up, how we self-sabotage, how we blame others, blame situations. It's always somebody else's fault or something's fault. And you know, an awakening is really waking up to our responsibility. We are the only ones that are responsible for our life, nobody else. So what are you going to do with your life? I almost feel the Chariot's asking that as well. Pole number 4. It's not something that's going to be the next step. Just start with the forgiveness. Spirits just said don't move too far into the future, so I won't. But you know, once you forgive and you align, my goodness, then we see more clearly. We see all those serendipity moments that come our way that before we were oblivious to. Sometimes we saw them, or we accepted opportunities and things, but you know, we miss the whole, how everything came together, what had to happen to bring it all together. We forget that, or we don't see that. But clarity makes us see that. Being aligned makes us see that. And you'll be able to move forward just so much lighter. I mean, you know, this Chariot's not even on the ground. Oh, such a beautiful, beautiful reading, pole number 4. It's just that inner work at the moment, isn't it? But it will bear fruit in the physical reality as well. I'm going to leave you with those messages, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful week. Love and light. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.